If you're a hippie, I love you. Third eye kisses, hugs, and belly rubs. But please stay tuned to this full video, because as much as I love hippies, I mean, who doesn't love hippies, right? They're all about love, light, uplifting the vibration of the planet, hugging trees, goodwill. But a lot of the times, hippies are the first people to ask you for money. A lot of them don't want to work because they don't believe in the system. They think it's wage slavery. And the ones that are working haven't done the work, haven't done work on themselves, in that they think they can channel everything. They don't have to consciously learn about reality. And therefore, when you have a conversation with them, I find there are a lot of gaps in their understanding about hippie ideas. Because a lot of people think that being a hippie is all about love and light. I don't need to know anything, right? Because I'm connected to the universe. Wrong. There is actually a cultural appropriation of what it meant to be a hippie. Because like a lot of things in the 21st century, we've lost our understanding of the origins of ideas. If you are a hippie and you do not know who either Annie Besant, Helena Blavatsky, C.W. Leadbeater, Krishnamurti, or Manly P. Hole were, then you don't understand what it means to be a hippie. And for someone that, I mean, I don't like to call myself a hippie, but I am inundated with hippie people in my life because they're always hitting me up on my social media, on my dating apps, because I have these hippie keywords like indigo child, truth seeker, and whatnot. And I have the most conscious comedy podcast in the multiverse. Therefore, people always hitting me up and trying to come on my podcast and tell me they're into hippie things, so I should come on, speak about conspiracy theories, cryptocurrency, sustainability, environmentalism, and whatnot. But the truth is, a lot of the hippies that I speak to don't understand the history of where this movement came from. Now, if you have a look at history, ladies and gentlemen, which is a real thing, things have actually happened, and we can record these things. Not everything is up in the air and speculative. You have a look at something known as the New Thought movement. This took place around the 19th century, and we saw the birth of this ideology dealing with esoteric knowledge, essentially mystery traditions. Figures like C.W. Leadbeater, who was a key founder of the Theosophical Society, later on went to form the Theosophical Society through his movement, and figures like Annie Besant, and through C.W. Leadbeater's tutelage, Krishnamurti became prevalent figures in perpetuating much of the knowledge which later became associated with the New Age movement, which many people in the 70s referred to as being a hippie. And if we have a look at present day, much of this information has been culturally appropriated to the point where most hippies don't even know who these figures are. Most hippies don't believe in any of the wisdom traditions, don't understand anything about sacred geometry, about divination. They just peripherally speak about astrology. They don't understand technology. They don't understand any of these spiritual concepts and feel as if they can understand everything by simply intuiting reality. And don't get me wrong, having clairvoyance, having clairaudience, having these latent spiritual abilities where you are sensitive towards everything is relevant in developing your fullness as a spiritual being, no doubt. And people that don't have this tend to be suppressing what we call the divine feminine, their intuitive abilities. But just as importantly, people that are suppressing this logic, reason, analytical ability to understand these disciplines that we associate with the understanding of reality are suppressing what we call the masculine. And I find more often than not, whenever I speak to New Age people, hippies, they have a very rudimentary understanding about any of these topics. And for someone like myself that has spent more years than I dare to mention delving deeply into these topics, has read all the works of Manly P. Hole, was initiated into these traditions, it becomes very clear that these people that I speak to have no understanding about most of these sciences. And I love having conversations about this stuff. There is nothing more fun than meeting someone that can have a conversational jiu-jitsu session with you about topics that you're both familiar with. But when you speak to someone and every idea they have is something that has been conjured up, they maybe read a few pages of something about how we can intuit everything and all there is free love and oneness, and therefore they feel like they are hippies. I gotta call you out on that. You need to do the work. So this just is a reminder to all my hippies out there that haven't really taken upon themselves to understand any of these disciplines: cymatics, sacred geometry, metaphysics, esoteric knowledge, philosophy, the trivium, the quadrivium, many of these concepts that give us an understanding of reality. Stop buying into every single thing that you see, but also open your mind to the truth. Once you have spent enough time understanding reality, both rationally and intuitively, the truth is revealed. The river of transcendence flows when you think with your heart and you feel with your head. Peace!